Growl, as the demon swooped down ready for another attack. With focus in his eyes, the wizard dashes forward to counter. I left speechless looking at the battle which was in front of my eyes. This battles was unbelievable. It seems like it was straight out of comics. Slah! In an instant, the wizard was caught off guard and was defeated by the demon. Blood splattered out of his body as he was ripped in half. The gruesome scene left me paralyzed in terror. I could only widen my eyes with helplessness written across my face, staring as the wizard fell into the waters, halved. Blood mixed with water spattered from the eerily calm ocean. My vision began to blur, my head light weighted as I slowly began to pass out. How long have I been floating? How much time has passed? I thought to myself after I came back to my senses. I lift my head in front, yet all I saw was the dark, sparkly surface of the ocean with me hanging onto my log from my broken raft. Alone again? I broke down in tears as I was drifting in the boundless ocean. Suddenly, I lift up my eyes and saw a raft with human. With hope I gathered the last few drops of strength swimming towards the raft. Nevertheless, the person on the raft was not welcoming. He gazed at me with a disgusted look on his face. "Excuse me," I blurted. "It sounds rude, but is it okay if we share rafts? Mine was totally destroyed. I am willing to help with anything, until we find land." However, despite my plea, the person showed me no mercy and kicked me into the ocean. "This raft doesn't have a mast to hold on to. I can't help myself when I am in trouble. No space for another." As he finished his rattling, he turned his head around just to meet an eel-like creature in the eye, creepily staring back at him. Not one, not two, but several, all in different colors. Red, blue, indigo. He was dumbfounded and didn't dare to move a single muscle. Screech! The monster opens its mouth filled with rows of pointed teeth, yanking him into the water, leaving the raft quietly sitting by itself. In horror, I quickly helped myself up onto the raft, pulling myself under the raft, gasping for air. "Damn that bastard," I shouted to myself sitting alone on the raft among the ripples. "Where is the bastard?" I turned my head and saw the radiant colors displaying from the monsters striking the waters. Suddenly chill ran down my spine, and hold my hand into a fist as I hear faint helps from that direction. Cold sweat ran down my face and my face was emotionless as I turned to see one of the monster grabbing the man with its teeth piercing into his lower body. Blood oozed out of his body and covered his face red. I was shivering in fear as I look at the creatures holding the man up in the air as if it was telling me I was next. In my mind, I was still contemplating on whether to help the man from the jaws of those creatures, though he was being a dick when I needed help. I tried moving my limbs, yet my muscles wouldn't even budge. No way, I won't be able to save him. He has lost too much blood, I thought to myself, staring with my eyes wide opened as the waves continued to carry my raft further and further away from the site. I wanted to help, but I can't. It's not my fault. He kicked me off first. I crouched on the raft alone in shock, trying to convince myself that I had nothing to do with the death of the person. Everyone would have done the same thing, right? I broke down. Why am I always a disappointment? Even after death. "I'm here. Help me." Suddenly I heard a voice coming from the ocean during my breakdown. I helped the person up onto my raft. Dang, I almost died. I have been swimming in this ocean for hours. I was almost giving up, but thanks to you. "By the way, I am Hyun-ho," he introduced. "I'm Yoon Hiseo of 23 years, I replied. "Oh, we are the same age," he happily replied. Later, he looked down at the raft and realized that there was a mark. "This is my raft," he claimed. "How did you know?" "I made a scratch here before falling off the raft." It was a small thin kid who pushed me off the raft before running away. When he mentioned the kid, I immediately froze. What? I blurted. "I helped a small kid when I saw him floating in the ocean, but that ungrateful kid dared push me off the raft. He did the same to me too. He seriously is a rotten bastard. Where is he?" I stuttered profusely as I recalled bloodshed view of the monster grabbing its victim. I told him that a monster appeared and Hyun-ho understand and interrupted me and said, "Ha, I'll go crazy, what even is this place?" "It's the Sanzu River," I answered. "A place for young people who committed suicide." Hyun-ho looked at me horrified. "What are you saying? Is this really the Sanzu River where the dead have to cross to reach the afterlife? I am dead? How did I die? Who told you this?" He swarmed me with so many questions that I wish I had answers to. "Well, a Grim Reaper dressed in white told me these," I replied. The atmosphere quickly turned awkward as we are still trying to get over the fact that we are dead. Meanwhile, when we were still accepting the fact that we are dead, the body of the wizard who was ripped in two by the demon floated by our raft, not in half but whole. The wizard was unconscious. We quickly helped the wizard up and regained consciousness. You alright? Hyunho asked. When I looked closely, even the wounds inflicted by the demon was no longer on the wizard's body. Hey, I am sorry. It was my fault that I couldn't save you earlier. I apologize. I have never seen you before. Who are you? The wizard questioned. Don't you remember? Stop, I don't care. Just let me use this raft until we reach a nearby island. He interrupted. There's an island close to us, Hyunho and I asked in surprise. Yes, and there are thousands of them along the river. So can we follow you to that island? Hyunho requested excitedly. You can, but I can't guarantee you which islands are good, you decide for yourselves, he replied. There are good islands too, I was astonished. Every island is different from the other, he replied. In devastation, Hyunho asked, Are we dead? Is this really the Sanzu River? And are we being punished in this hellish place? You're only half right. Yes, this is the Sanzu River. But you are not here for any punishment. This is more of a reward. Not hell, but a paradise, she replied as they reached a beautiful colorful island with full of rainbows and sparkles.